And broke it.
Mhm.
Curses is the first word you heard me say all night. Hello, this is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin. We're starting again. Now, there's been multiple technical difficulties. Now you can be absolutely, for positively sure that this is real. If it ever goes flawlessly, you know somebody competent has taken over. Until then, it's just me. Let's get to the technical stuff. Our virtual tabletop of choice tonight is Roll20. Our character art was done using Hero Forge, and the art that you saw on the way in the new intro was done using Space Engine, a bit of stuff I bought on Steam, which is great fun. You just get to tootle around the universe. Nothing to buy, nothing to steal, nothing to mine, just tootle around the universe taking cool pictures and videos. But that's enough of that. Let's get to these people. Because these people are the people that have agreed to come and play in this game with me. And that's borderline brave, borderline silly. Let's talk about one that I know is both of those. Let's start with Roosbar. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. What have you been streaming recently? What have you been doing?
Nothing. I haven't been streaming for a while. I've been hanging out with other people and helping them out in their streams and being a
Nice.
sidekick.
Oh,
I'll be found all over the place.
You are a viewer, and we love you. Well, thank you for watching and helping everybody. As anybody who was here at the start knows, we could bloody well use the help. Let's move on. Next, normally we see them here on Sundays, and in a lot of these one-shots too. One of the one of the original members of this entire Discord chat and community, the wonderful and marvelous Solar Dasher. What have you been up to?
Working my tailbone off.
Oh, I know you were ill too, so I'm not even going to ask
And then
this
I was
week.
sick for a little while.
It was a running gag. I'd ask you every week, have you streamed, but I'm not even going to ask this week.
No, haven't really had a chance. I've just been watching people stream though.
Yeah, that's a good way to get better. Watch other people stream.
So don't forget to watch us on Sunday.
Yes,
Yay.
always. Yeah, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. That's us. There, now I've done mine. I don't have to do it at the end, which is good. Because that
Also
means...
join us on our Discord.
Yeah, also that, could you pop that in the exclamation mark Discord for me, please? While I speak to the brave people. Because, I mean, streaming requires a certain level of bravery all in itself. Streaming with strangers requires a certain above level of bravery in itself. And streaming with strangers that you met and only know briefly through Twitter, of all places, is a level of bravery that I am so glad two people have. Because of that, we have two new members to our community to add tonight, and we'll see if they stay after this evening in the best possible way. Getting the dirty look already. But let's introduce them. Let's start with Rory. Thank you so much for joining us. Where can we find you when you're not here?
On Instagram mostly. However, I've been lacking in posts slightly, but Instagram, I am DJ Raker. Here, let me just
drop the link in there.
Let me drop a link in the chat for everybody. We got Instagram and we got Spotify. Whoa.
Ooh.
Where all my music likes to hang out.
All the cool ones.
There we go.
Thank you. With that, thank you very much for joining us. And what's your? Do you do much streaming at all, or other places, or?
Not yet.
No.
I am in the process of trying to learn how to get stuff set up properly. but I
Oh.
do plan on streaming hopefully soon.
After tonight, go go to our Discord. There's a ton of people there that are competent and can actually get a stream started without screwing up 2 sound effects in the first 3 tries. So
Nice.
oh wow, hey, there are crossovers everywhere. Legion, good to see you. Yeah, welcome to my home stream. This is the wonderful person that allowed me to pretend I was a announcer last night, and I had a blast doing it. So I'm looking forward to doing that a whole lot more in the future. But thank you for popping in tonight. You got here just in time for the last introduction, and then things are going to get weird. But speaking of brave, Gloriosa, thank you so much for answering the Twitter. A lot of people apparently thought it was a joke. I just put sort of a weird description of a game in it and said, who wants to play? And people said yes. Thank you for responding to that. Where else can we find you? I know you're in other games and other streams.
I am. You can find me on Twitter, of course, at Blaze of Gloriosa. That's the most common place to find me, like on a steady basis. I do stream sometimes on my channel, but a lot of my streams are like bouncing around on other channels. So Twitter is the best place to find me. Blaze of Gloriosa on Twitter. And on every other Sunday, you can find me on Utharian Legends. And I am completely 100% blanking on the new channel name right now.
That's okay.
It used to be Chaotic Tiefling, but now we've moved over to, I think it's D4 D&D now. So, but anyway, yes, just search Utharian Legends on Twitter and you'll probably find our Twitter and all that stuff. But yeah, that's me. Hi. I didn't think it was that brave. Like I feel like you're giving me a little much credit because I was like, oh, RPGs? Sure.
Well, in that case, I'm not going to give you time to think about it. We're going to get started. All I will say is, Legion, if you got Sunday nights free, I can get you at least a guest appearance in a D&D game. I guarantee you that. Yeah. Go over to Discord, join the Discord. Are you already in there? Never mind what I'm talking about. PM me and let me know, and I will get you in for at least a 2 Sunday short visit. But that's another game. This is this one. Let's go. We are using Tiny Frontiers, the game system. This game is called Escape from Tiny York. It is vaguely based on a scenario from this book, the Tiny Frontiers Revised Rule Books, that one of the wonderful people here bought for me. So I have a hard copy of a book that I already had a digital copy of, and I love it. That goes over there. There's a micro setting in that called The Station, and this is loosely, not that loosely, based on that. Utharian Legends is on D4 RPG. There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. So let's, with that, I've cracked my knuckles. We can't not start now. 3 fates, it was said on ancient earth, control the threads of our lives. Clotho spins the thread. Lachesis measures the thread allotted to each person. And Atropos cuts the thread, choosing the moment of each person's passing. Your luck has run out. Today you were chosen as the prisoners that the Atropos virus will be tested on. But something is going wrong. The room you're in is filling with a fine gray mist. It's the pathogen known as Atroposine, which will kill you in about 4 hours unless you're given the antidote. But through the observation window, you can see the scientists and the guards are panicking. The control room is also full of the virus. A red light in that room starts to flash in sets of 3. And there's a hellacious bang. One of the wall panels in that room just pivots outward, exposing open space. hard vacuum. In one moment, everything is gone. The people, the gas, anything that wasn't nailed down. It only takes a few seconds for everything on that side to go completely silent. You can't even hear the siren anymore. Through the window, everything over there looks broken and bent by the action. One orange light in the far corner right by the open panel is flashing. Dot dash, dot dash dash dot, dot. Repeated over and over. It's more cipher because it's not a code, it's a cipher. It's for APE. And you know it means air loss protocol engaged. In other words, the door from the control room to the rest of the station will not open until pressure is resumed in this place. Probably shouldn't be a problem of yours, except the window in front of you cracks. And you can see the two pieces start to vibrate as they're drawn into the infinite suction beyond. What do you do?
Give me just a second.
The silence of a well-prepared first paragraph. Moose.
I'm going to.
Moose, you are like a seat of the pants, go hard, like fly hard, try hard. What do you do in this situation?
What is in my space, in my immediate vicinity?
It's like a steel picnic table bolted to the floor. Think like a police interrogation room.
Yeah.
And there's a door that they brought you in, but that door doesn't have any handles of any kind on this side. It can only be opened from outside. You're in the air pressure poison control test center.
I'm going to see if I can't unseat that table.
Okay.
See how
yep.
Is it bolted down or?
Ish. You're Moose. Who cares? Give us our very first test. Do you have any of your 4 traits that you think would give you advantage on pulling a large metal object out of a metal floor held in place with large metal bolts? Given that this is a space opera and I really want you to succeed.
Oh yeah, brawler. I'm used to throwing furniture around.
I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, perfect. In a fit of drunken rage, even though you're not drunking or raging, you just reach down and it's such second nature you just grab a chair and hit something with it. You kind of forget. Give us a roll with advantage. So 3 dice. Any roll of 5 or 6 is a success. First roll of the night.
Oh wait, there's a button for that, is there not?
There is. On your character sheet at the top, there's disadvantage, test, and advantage. Go ahead and click advantage. Just barely, but yeah, you just, oh, wait a minute. And for a second, it's like somebody must still be sitting on this, and you kind of throw the person that's in your head off of it, and when you pull it back, the metal is broken because you bent it away and then bent it back and it snapped off. So yes, you now have in your hand a sharp-edged large piece of metal. Next.
I want that whole table.
Well, you at least got a big chunk to swing stuff with. Astrid, I saw you next. What are you doing?
Astrid's gonna go over to the door.
Yep.
Kind of imagine where she saw the lock.
Okay.
And see if she can't get into there and try and pick the lock.
From this side. Okay, that is definitely a disadvantage. Do you have any skill that would change that? Any trait? Mm-hmm. Sorry, let me use the right phrasings. I'm sure you do.
I have nimble fingers.
You have nimble fingers, which gives you advantage on this, and I will give you that. There is a tiny little space that you could get just one finger in, but you got just enough nail sticking out that you can pick this. Let's have a go. Let's see if you can. Give you 3 dice. Give you advantage. Oh, again, it's like ow, 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 and then the end of your finger, not the fingernail, but the end of the finger gets cut. Like that's how hard you had to push at the end. Just, but you do. The door pops open and part of that, the result of that, is that the air that's in this room, the air that is full of this deadly poison, goes through that door and out into the hallway beyond. The hallway that you know, because you got brought in this way, leads to an elevator going up. When we get to that elevator, we'll talk a little more about it. But for now, that's you. You got that door open. So, that door is open. Glass is broken. Moose has got something. He's going to hit something hard with something. Let's go with Impulse next.
After like a moment of panicking.
Yeah.
By the way, does the air that rushed out through that door, does it get replaced with any air
A
or?
very good question. As you look around, you can see that there's vents coming in. There's now 2 fresh air vents coming in, but there's also the one still pumping in the virus.
Okay. Well, is that how high up is the vent pumping virus?
You could you can just barely reach it, as it turns out. It is of a narratively correct height. Welcome to Dirty 20 Gaming.
So Impulse is going to sort of hurry over to that vent and sort of start seeing if she can break it, like closed.
So you want to seal it? So
Yeah,
the
either
poison
that
stops coming in
or
here. Okay. So that the poison stops coming in here. Okay.
yeah. So she's got prehensile toes and fingers, so
Yep.
she's gonna be like on all fours, like around this vent, like like trying to push it up.
All right. So yes, you are prehensile. There's already my answer. Give me an advantage roll. I like 3 dice. It fills the box. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well,
You know that you know that Marilyn Monroe scene where she's standing on the thing and it goes like that. Think of like a sugar glider pressed against a vent, and then that happens. It's not anywhere near as photogenic, but you are just like flapping in a toxic wind. Unfortunately, you have not blocked the toxins entering the room.
it smells so bad.
Finn. Yeah. Oh yeah, it smells bad. It smells like you're gonna die in about 4 hours. Finn, what are you doing?
Well, we got the door out is now open, right?
Yep.
I'm leaving this room. No sense in staying in the poison.
So you just
In my mind, I'm out of there.
pulled open the door and gone. Absolutely. You pull past. As Astrid just finishes because she pulls out her bloody finger. The door is just hanging slightly open, and you're just like, hi, gone. Out in the hall. You leap out into the hall, and you are surrounded. It's a very dramatic entrance. It's too bad there's nobody there to see it. Although that's probably a good thing because you're completely unarmed. But you make your entrance into this hallway surrounded by this gray mist. Just as it billows down both directions to the hall.
Nice.
You look this way, it only goes about 10 feet, and there's a window. Well, you take it for a window. You realize right away, you saw it on the way down here, it's a view screen. You're underground. I said space station earlier, and this was a space station, but it's old. It doesn't work anymore. So they kind of dug a hole and put it on this planet, and then built around it. So you're on the bottom floor of this. On the other direction is the hallway, and at the end of the hallway, the elevator, unprotected. And it's only got one button that says up. Because we got to the elevator twice now, I'm going to explain it. When you came down here, you know how these elevators work. They only go up 1 floor at a time, and then you have to traverse the whole level before getting into the next elevator and going up 1 floor, and then going back. So it's a zigzag. And you don't know how many zigs and zags there are. You started on the... Well, You're 2 levels lower now than where you started. There's no more elevators from this floor going down, so this seems to be the bottom. Above you, because you were just brought down here, is a series. The next floor above you is all full of large cells, like big cells, so huge aliens or groups of prisoners. The level above that is where you guys were all kept. It's single cells. That's the information you've got at the bottom of that hallway as that round ends. So as 2 of the 3 of you are leaving the room, one of you is fighting with a toxic hand dryer, and one of you has a big metal stick. Moose, what are you doing with your big metal chair?
Pointed stick.
Yep.
To pry the door open.
Okay, you run over there to pry it open. It's already open, but at least you got a weapon now. And you
Well, that was
specialize in
easy.
pointed stick, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Because basically, yeah, you have a mastery in pointed stick. Which,
Specifically knife-style killing implements.
okay, so yeah, you use both hands and kind of break off a knife-sized piece. One-handed or 2, because it matters in this game. One-handed. Okay, it's one of the very few things that matters. One of the very few things you have to keep track of. So it's a one-handed, means it only has a range of close, but we'll get to range when we find some guards to fight. Next, Astrid. You just open the door and then bam, the one guy's gone. What do you do next?
I try and keep my balance because I'm pretty sure as fast as he runs out of there, it kind of bumps into me a little bit.
Yep. Okay, stumble back, and then what are you doing?
I'm gonna run after him and
You through the
basically
door.
just run through the door and say, "What the hell is your problem? Wait till I get it all the way open next time, meathead."
Behind that, you hear another piece. The glass starts to fail some more.
I suggest you get
over.
moving to that elevator.
It's got that spiderweb shatter going. You dive out of the way. Impulse.
Going to belatedly realize that the door is open.
Yep.
I guess.
Yeah.
And try to. I'm just gonna let go of the vent drop off
Oh,
of
I
it.
was so hoping that's what you were going to say. Yeah, you sugar glider this. You just sort of spin around and float on the, like surfing a toxic air ball of death across the room because the pressure's built up under you, right? It's really beautiful. It's just also really deadly.
Thank you, Bernoulli. We love you.
For that, you don't have to roll. I was going to make you roll to see how well you landed, but no, you make a science joke like that, you get to land for most excellent. 3-point landing, one presumes? Hero landing?
Yeah, sure.
So, through the door, out into the hall, behind the other 2. You look like you are competent. You look like
Meant
you are
to do that.
prepared. Yeah, you look like this is your shtick.
Okay, so I'm gonna run toward the elevator with the rest of them.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna shoot you a PM while the others are doing stuff.
Absolutely. So I think everybody's out of the room now, right? Everybody's out of the room now, right? Yeah. So it's the last of you runs out of the room. I think the last one out would probably be Moose. Behind you, you hear that glass shattered. And there's a horrific suction through that door that you just stepped through. Of all the people that you would put here in a movie, Moose, lime jumpsuit, flapping in the wind, trying not to get sucked out into the universe of nothingness. What do you do?
Rage. No, definitely. I'm gonna get low, grab onto something, and use. I'm assuming there's a railing nearby or something.
Yep. So you're doing like the strongman pulling the door shut thing? Okay. With advantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna do whatever I can.
Give me an advantage check. Absolutely. This is what mooses are built for. Roar. There it is. There's a 5. Yeah. it's like everything you've got, but you're, by the end the veins are sticking out, and you actually have to make a noise. You have to do that weightlifter thing where you have to make that little extra noise to get that little bit, and then finally, clang, the door slams shut, and you just spin that big wheel with your hand, and the pressure balances in this room. Behind you, through the little tiny screen beside the door, you can see everything in that room just getting sucked through what used to be that window. The elevator beckons. But first, in this tiny pause, in this moment, behind you, airless space. In front of you, who knows what, a whole jail. You can't even stay here, because here is the only place left on this place that's still poisonous. That doesn't really matter to you because you've all been poisoned. So given that, we're going to go around now. We're going to have a quick description of when the others look at you, what do they see? Don't give us a whole backstory, but just what do they see? And then what are they thinking right now? Let's start with Finn.
All right. So Finn is basically maybe like a 6 foot tall humanoid figure. He's got like completely skin bald head, this light kind of blue skin. Left arm is completely robotic. Legs are robotic from the knees down.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got a pinky finger on his right hand, also robotic. Don't ask him how he lost that. He'll get really mad. He's currently thinking two things. One, how the hell am I going to get out of here? And two, where is the nearest article of clothing that isn't this horrendous jumpsuit?
Yes. Just before we keep going around, the four of you realize at this point, you've been kept in individual cells up till now, and you realize, as characters as well as players, that you've been had. When you got to this prison, they told you that the uniforms were a hideous green color and that you had to design your own. What you didn't realize is that means they're all different. You had to wear the one you designed. So you look around you and everybody's wearing these horrible green scrubs, just various colors of horrible green. But next, Moose, you just did a moosey thing as you catch your breath. What do we see and what are you thinking?
It's Moose is he earned the name honestly. He's a big chunk of meaty man. One side of the head shaved. It almost looks like it used to be a military cut, but he's allowed it to go past regulation, and it's combed over to one side. But just like a weightlifter's scowl. He looks like he always is angry.
And what's going on behind that scowl right now?
Escape and evade training.
Just popping back to what you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
The body might not be as young as it used to be, but damn it, you did that training a lot. I'm sure it'll all come back under pressure.
Yeah. This is when life gets fun.
Next, Astrid. Because I liked this one when I saw the Hero Forge mini.
She is tall. She's pretty tall for who she is. She's about 6 feet tall. She's got this lovely, lovely, lovely purple hair. Always wearing what looks to be a pair of earphones and like goggles. She's got these interesting gloves on her fingers that help her out, but apparently the pinky's now broken.
Yep. I like
she
that.
She never goes anywhere without her shoes. And she just has this I'm going to kick somebody's butt attitude right now because she's not liking the fact that she's here.
Absolutely.
And if she ever finds the guard that put her in here, she's definitely going to mess him up.
Oh, chances are good. And finally, because that it's Sometimes it's hard to do cute on Hero Forge, but you freaking nailed it. Impulse. What do we see? And then what's going on in that little character's head?
So Impulse is a Kalumra, which is a like bat-eared little tiny thing. So she's got like gray-brown skin and these really like lambent yellow eyes, 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
The kind that you would kind of catch on a cat or whatever that like reflect the light.
Yep.
She has ears that are, I couldn't really depict this very well on Hero Forge, but they're like basically as long as she is tall, just about.
I love it.
And they move. So like they go like when she's like disappointed, they kind of slump down.
Oh.
And like when she's like interested, they kind of perk up and they twitch a lot. Like they are definitely very active, almost have a mind of their own, like organs. They've got like the pink fuzz in there, and she's like clearly picking up cable with these ears. He's got three fingers, prehensile. I guess fingers are already prehensile, so that goes without saying, but her toes are also grippy and prehensile. So 3 fingers, 3 toes. None of the shoes really stay on for long, so she really just doesn't wear shoes very much. And she's like, I mean, I think at first, like as she's landing, she's thinking like, ah!
Yeah.
But then she lands, she's like, okay, all right. How do I get out?
How do I get out?
There's got to be a way out. And she's like, do I hear somebody running? I can hear people running up there, like kind of trying to place all of the noises and all the stuff that she's hearing. So,
absolutely,
kind of not registering that there's like a dude with a big broken shard of metal coming toward her.
And you're listening, and you can hear stuff, but I mean, it's a jail, so there's a lot of noises. It would be difficult to sort of draw any conclusions from it, other than there's an active jail above you. But we discover that when you move, about this thing that you designed, there's something about the belt. It's weird because every time you move, it sounds like budgies. The 4 of you get to the elevator. There is no guard down here. They were in the control room, and the control room is empty. There's only one button, up.
I'm gonna push it.
The door opens up. The poison rolls into the elevator with the 4 of you, or is anybody staying down here?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go.
Okay, everybody leaps in. Yeah,
I'm going up.
You get inside. There's one button, an arrow up. You hit that. The door is closed. You feel that lift because even your 3300 inertia still works. So you can feel that pressure, and then it stops. The door is open. The hallway in front of you, you've been through it before, but you kind of weren't thinking about it because you were being taken to your imminent death. I assume you weren't thinking about it too much, but this time it's a much more tactical look. It's about 20 meters long, 60 feet. Along each side, because these are the large cells, each cell is about 5 meters long, so about 15 feet. So there's only 4 cells on each side with these big, it's an old school bars and gate kind of prison. As the doors open up, you see you're the only show on this, you're the only channel on this TV. So every single cell door is faces looking out to see what's happening. At the far end of that, so there's all these faces shoved through these 4 doors. And at the far end of it, 2 guards with rifles staring at you. For the first time, I would like for us to roll. Hang on, let me make absolutely sure it's clear. There we go. To roll initiative, please. So click your character and then hit the initiative button on your sheet, and it will put them in a roll for me. Anybody wanting to roll real dice, roll 2d6 and add them together. It didn't put them on the screen. That's okay. I'll keep track of them down here. That's all good.
Yeah, because it won't let me click on my character.
No valid token was selected.
All right, that's my fault. That's all right. I'll just do it this way. Finn got an 11, Astrid got a 9, Moose got a 5, and
Impulse got a 5 as well.
a 5 as well. Thank you.
Do we have to have a roll off?
Not at all. We're going to let you decide who goes first.
Oh.
I am going to roll 2d6 because I didn't. 6. Okay, that's all right. That works well. Let's get rid of this.
I'm going to start rolling my dice. My dice.
Your real dice.
Much nicer number.
All right, with that, for the first time, you are. Well, let's explain our range system. There's far, near, and close. You get to do 2 actions on each turn. One of those or both of those actions can be move. Each move moves you 1 range closer. So even though you're 60 feet away, you can get to 10 feet away, which is near range, in 1 movement, and you've got 2 if you choose. Once you're at near range, you can attack with a heavy melee weapon, which is anything with 2 hands. And if you get to close range, you can attack with anything, including up to and including your fists. So, Finn, what do? The rifles are coming up in slow motion because I'm sure that's what it would feel like.
Ooh, that's a good question. What are we looking at as far as like the cell layout?
But the thing's 20 meters long and each cell is 5. So there's essentially 2 plascrete walls with old school bar doors with the big twisty thing, except it's newfangled tech, but that's what it looks like. That's the motif.
Okay.
It's a privately owned jail. They had to have style to sell to the investors. It says "Ye Old Jail-y" on the front.
Are there any empty ones?
Yes, good question. These halfway there, second one on the left. There is the door. I mean, there's nobody in it that you can see. In other words, it's the only one that doesn't have a bunch of faces pressed up into it watching the action. They're watching like a tennis, like they're watching a tennis match. They're waiting for somebody to do something. So there's a niche in the wall halfway there.
Okay. Would I be able to get to that and try and like take cover in that little
You absolutely
corner
can.
there?
So you rush forward to. We're going to put you at near. So that's like that because that's the next step in. And you are. We're going to put this on just beside you here. The C. You are now in cover. So everybody that attacks you from that direction over there, generic direction where all the baddies are, they will all cover. It says it right over here. Yeah, they're all at disadvantage when they're shooting at you, even if they have an advantage on the attack regularly. So you just press yourself against these bars and try to in this little notch. Give me just a generic task roll. This is the mechanic I love in this game. I'm not telling you why you're rolling. I just need a generic task roll. A 6. As you press yourself, you're trying to force yourself into the bars to get flatter and flatter and flatter. You hear behind you, and a big sloppy sound of something large and heavy falling onto the ground behind you. Turn your head and look.
Ooh.
There's a pile of slime starting to move towards you on the ground inside the cell.
Ooh.
Astrid, what are you doing?
Is there one on the other side?
Yeah, but it's full of faces and people and big bad things. Actually, no, that one's full of, the one halfway down on that side's full of a group of humanoid types, like bipedal humans and other such heritages from the game. But all normal sized. The silence of people thinking, I love it. What do? The guns are coming up. They pan past the one undercover. They're not going to target them. They know better.
So she's gonna go ahead and get up close,
Okay.
but try and see how if she can evade.
If you can what?
Like be prepared to dodge, I guess.
Okay, you have a choice. You can move part way and take the evade action, which means if they shoot you, you get a chance. You roll to see if any hits actually hit, or you can get all the way there.
We'll do the first one then.
Okay, so you get halfway there. This is great because you guys are like helping me show the rules. And you evade, so you just prepare for that shot and preparing to dive in some direction. So anybody that attacks you, anytime you're hit, you roll 1d6, so you roll at disadvantage. If you succeed, you don't take damage even though you were hit. So that's you. Now it's them. But you're right there, as ready as you are. You're standing in your very best 80s ninja pose, prepared to leap out of the way. You are still the obvious target. They are attacking you with advantage because they're good with these. First shot, a success. Roll at a disadvantage. If you roll a 5 or a 6, even though it hits, it doesn't hit. It's kind of magical that way. Oh, no. Take 1 point of damage. The other one, fires away. Ooh, 1 success. Roll again. No. Oh, man. You dodge into it. You play with their gunshots. You do that thing and when you meet somebody in a narrow hallway and you go, oh, yeah, you got it absolutely wrong. Take 2 points of damage as they both shot you. Moose.
I did.
Moose, have energy drink.
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the sleeves off of my shirt and wrap them around my fists.
Okay. I'm going to give you that as a free action. That is a narrative action only. So yes, as you're doing that, what are you actually doing?
I am going to full on charge down the hallway.
So you get all the way there, and then are unable to do anything else. You're just right in their face. They've been charged by a moose, quite literally. You're just thinking about that for a second. 2 heavily armored. They're wearing helmets. They got like camouflage or combat vests on, weapons, armor, the whole bit. Track down the hallway. Blam, 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 blam. And through that, with a big pointy metal stick, comes a whole bunch of moose. Almost unseen behind that, Impulse.
Impulse is charging. Actually, it's funny you should say that.
Yes.
Impulse is charging right behind Moose, like using him as cover.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, he's nothing if not mobile cover.
Yep.
And is that the entirety of both my actions?
What else did you want to do?
I want to jump from behind Moose.
Yeah.
And like try to surprise them by jumping on the gun.
Oh, wow.
Like run up behind Moose, and while they're looking at Moose, just be like, "Punk!"
Oh,
This
bolt
works,
over
yeah.
his shoulder.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm going to take away the cover thing because you use Moose. Oops, wrong. I moved you, not the cover.
I mean,
There you
it's
go.
fine if
You're-
he's just the distraction
you're
instead of
behind-
actual cover.
I'll let you. You had cover, but then you sort of willfully gave it up to make this Hail Mary move. So you're running up behind Moose, and Moose stops right in front of them, and you just leap out from behind one of his legs, and go nah! Try and have some sort of
Grabbing
effect.
with both hands and both feet, like trying to wrestle
just
a gun
the whole just.
away from this guard.
You're just doing like the gecko on the finger thing, but just
Going
on the rifle.
full on it, yeah.
Okay. That's beautiful. Gecko, you've got to be advantageous when it comes to being prehensile. So prehensile advantage roll for me, please.
I got a 5.
5. That is a success. Tell me how many successes you got, because although technically the game doesn't improve results based on the number of successes, I do. So you got 1. Okay.
Just 1.
Yeah, perfect. So with that, you just reach up and grab it and start leaning down. They get a resistance test, which they only get to do at test level. They succeed, but only once. I like the idea that one success each counts as a tie. So you just grab onto it, and he just very slowly goes, boonk, and kind of your butt hits the floor, and the rifle's sort of over your shoulder against the ground. So if he pulls the trigger, it's not going to work. But you're just kind of like he's trying to get like somebody trying to pull their leg away from a kid that's grabbed it around their ankle.
I got your nose.
Yeah.
Got your rifle.
Which brings us back to the top of it on. This is going well. Finn, you are in this notch. People have torn past you. Even the little one went and attacked him. Have you no shame? What do you do?
Well, I look behind, I see that goop, and just
Yep.
immediate, hell no, I'm hopping out of there and I'm running for it. And if you will allow me, as I'm running,
Yep.
my guy here's got this fun little cybernetic trait called hidden weapon.
Oh, yes.
And he just basically
Oh.
takes a chunk out of his arm,
Yep.
takes like a sharp chunk out of his arm, and over his head charges forward.
So you close to close distance?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So you run forward and just pull a chunk out, a little bit of hydraulic spray. No damage. It's just for effect. And you reach forward. You are there. Which one of them would you like to attack? You probably have. I don't know if you have proficiency in pointy things, but your two choices are the one that is currently trying to shake impulse off of their weapon. The other one is still trying to shoot over your shoulder and trying to shoot down the hall.
The one
they
with
don't
his
like
gun
cats.
kind
I
of
just saw the
grappled
cat.
seems like
So-
the easy target. So
Yep.
I'm just gonna go right for him.
Absolutely. I mean, they're right there. You just reach up.
Do not have proficiency with spiky things. Unfortunately.
But having said that, you do have advantage because as far as I'm concerned, because I mean, if you don't have mastery of the weapon that comes out of your own body, that makes no sense. Plus, I'm going to give you advantage because they're essentially grappled. Like they're too stupid to let go of their gun. It's the old monkey trap. You put the nut inside and they can't get their hand out because they're too stupid to let go of the nut. Yeah, that is exactly what's happening here. So yeah, that one,
right.
they're right there. You just go for the jugular. There's the advice from
Let's
chat.
see.
Oh dear.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, this seems like a very good time to mention that you guys have all had really good ideas so far, and I haven't wanted to break up the narrative. But for absolutely, positively, for sure, this happened. You guys are all getting a reroll. The Happy Storyteller button is up. You all, between descriptions of your characters and the creative ideas you've already had and going different ways, you have all already made this a game where it didn't go according to the way I traditionally had it written. So you all win for that. You have a reroll.
Nice.
Finn, you have a reroll. Would you like to burn it up now?
Yeah, might as well.
Oh,
Watch
it just
this
got
attack.
worse.
Ooh,
Oh,
man.
So yeah, you run forward, pull the piece out of your arm, and as you're stabbing forward, you realize that's the wrong piece. That bit's kind of essential. You put it back and kind of shake the other piece out, the knife that's behind it. It's like, damn it. But that takes the rest of your
Where'd
round
I
to
put
get
it?
out. Except, I've been forgetting up until, well, nobody's done this. One action to move and then one to do the attack. That was your two actions per turn. So yes, you have failed miserably, but it was a funny scene. So we'll just move on.
I'll take it.
Astrid, what are you doing?
All right. She
That evade
is
didn't go
going
very
to
well.
go. Yeah, well, she's not going to evade anymore. She's going to get up there and try and attack the one that's not being. Oh, is
Okay.
not holding. The one that's holding the weapon still.
The one
Not being grappled.
well, yeah, let's
Not
just
being
use the word. Yeah, the grappled one or the non-grappled one.
The non-grappled one.
Okay, so the healthy one. You move up, so that's one. So you get one attack. Just
Yep.
hit him with these big metal gloves.
Yeah.
Are the gloves a weapon? This is what I get for not reading character sheets. It's fun. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have light melee or yeah?
I do have light melee.
Okay, then you have at least proficiency, so roll 2 dice. Look, I finally...
There we go.
Yes, yeah, I made somebody roll 2 dice. I'm a bad dungeon master. I'm mean. This is success, yes. You just... He's, like, looking at his partner, like, just let go. And he turns around and just... right in the nose. You see, just... meh, all over the face. In one move, you make him look like he's been boxing for 10 years. It just smash. And both eyes are watering. He's trying to get the rifle up, but you're too close. That's your 2 moves. Impulse.
I'm gonna kick him in the face, and I don't have proficiency with.
And you don't have light melee? Okay.
feet.
Okay, so give us 1d6. Yeah, as you try and flip up off of the rifle. Oh, you kind of pull him in with 2 hands and 1 foot and kick him with the other one?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Since he won't let go.
Yes, fair enough. My rifle. Mine. Give us the...
I got a 1, though.
You got a 1 on 1 die?
I got a 1.
Oh, no.
I'm so sad about that.
This gets to talk to us about critical fails. Because in this game, if all the dice roll are 1s, something bad happens. But it's very early in the game, so you don't have to re-roll a new character. I mean, it would take too long. Besides, it would take like 2 minutes or so. But instead, you pull forward, and when you kick up, you kick the trigger. And the rifle goes off right beside your
my ear.
head.
Ah!
Bam! Your big, gigantic ear fills up with the blast. Just thump like a parachute. And then back down. You're hearing frequencies and noises that are not... You're hearing budgies. That's what's happening. You're hearing budgies. That's all you can hear in that one ear. And there's a huge gouge in the floor, and the rest of you can hear the ping, 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 as the projectile bounces off the roof and the floor all the way down to the far end. At the very last end, it bounces up off the floor. It's going so slow you can see it, and it just hits the down button on the elevator. Bing! The door slides open, the bullet falls to the ground, and pivot rolls into the elevator. The door slides shut.
Sounds like I'm practically like with the birds going in circles
Yes,
around.
yes, exactly, yes. You've got the oral version of that going on. You can hear them in
Bullet is
3D.
going for a walk.
yeah. I love this.
I think that's all I got.
Yep, absolutely. Brings us back to Finn. You're right up close.
Oof.
Right
up there.
The unaffected one has taken some damage. The one that's still fighting for his rifle has not taken any actual damage yet.
Four people in this group.
+1 swagger. I love it.
I'm just gonna focus up.
This.
One action, just burning on a focus.
Okay.
To really try and cement this attack.
Okay.
Let's see.
And then who are you attacking?
Just the same one with the gun grappled.
All right. So 4s, 5s, and 6 hits. 4s do. There is a button on your sheet. You can check a box that says focus, and it'll make the pretty thing appear. But we know 4s, 5s, and 6s succeed. So you really pay attention this time, and they look back down because now the rifle's gone off. And looking like, are you trying to shoot yourself? And at that moment, you just catch the chin on the way by. Just oomph. They drop the rifle, finally. They drop themselves, just fold, just the knees, then the hips, then the chest, then just thunk, 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 and hit the floor.
Nice.
Unconscious. The rifle falls from their hands. I don't know, it doesn't. It falls from their hands, leaving Impulse on the floor, holding the barrel of the rifle. Yeah.
Nice.
Astrid, there's only one left. What are you doing?
We're still gonna punch again.
Okay, you just wind up. You can punch him twice. You're in close. That's once. The first one, just, pow! You pull back. Throw the second punch.
but miss miserably.
Wow. Oh dear. Are those gloves your hacking tool? Is that what they are? Or your thieving tools?
Yeah.
Okay. Until you can take some time to fix them, half of them don't work. Because you just broke all the ones in one glove.
Ah, damn.
So, when you decide to do something, until you have a chance to fix this, until you try and do something, there's a 50% chance that it's even going to try to work. But this brings us to a cool mechanic in the game, but we'll get to that shortly. So, at the moment, yes, you're slightly affected by that. But at least you did 1 damage.
And she's just silently cursing in the background. Free action.
So the last one left. Yes, cursing is a free action. The last one. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab the focus thing, not that. There we go. The last one reaches down to his belt, drops the rifle, and grabs a button on a stick. It's a big red button. And his thumb starts to come down towards the handle. Moose and Impulse, you get a chance to react before they push the button. Moose, what do you do?
I'm gonna grab his hand.
Okay, give me a you're just give me a standard test. And Impulse, what are you doing?
I'm going to call Brawler.
Okay, yeah, you try and catch the punch. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so you give me 3 and
Grab
yes,
the button.
Impulse. You're gonna grab the button itself. Okay.
Yeah,
you
and
grab-
I have perceptive. Can I get advantage on that? Because perceptive, I can see it better.
Yep. Yes.
Break his thumb.
Absolutely. I love this. So yeah, you snap the thumb off the top of the button, leaving the whole thing exposed. He goes, ah! And then Impulse snatches in with a hand and
6.
a 6.
I got 1 6.
You poof, and pull it back. And you're looking down at the big red button on the stick.
I wonder what it does.
The camera pivots around and drifts back down the hall. The sense of grandiosity increases as this decision looms. Push the button or don't push the button?
I glance up at Moose.
The camera zooms back in and hovers over the button. In the background,
It's
Moose's
like-
sweaty face.
Not even yet. Not even.
Moose's calm and relaxed
Don't-
face.
Don't push that.
Moose says no.
To slowly put the button down on the floor
Put
in
it
front
on
of
the
me.
floor. Okay.
Ears droop kind of down.
Adulting is hard. And with that, all the faces in all the windows start to cheer. Yeah, yeah, let us out, let us out, let us out.
You
Except,
take free action because you missed a turn.
yep. Good.
Punch buddy right in the mouth.
The last, yeah. Just he just and you just I'm not even gonna make you roll. You just thump him.
I've got his hand.
Yeah, you just thump him. The only chamber that isn't screaming and yelling to get let out, and it's all sort of arms and please, 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 and promises of money and all this normal crap you'd expect, except for that cell that Finn was near. Finn, you look back and your own face is poking out through the bars. Your own arms reach out. But I'm going to ask you, are both arms that reach out flesh and blood?
That's creepy. I think it's creepier if he's made a perfect mimicry. So
Okay. So the hands
one of
come-
them at least looks robotic.
Not only that, that's all the permission I needed. Your hands come out of that cell, and they, without looking, they reach down and correctly remove the knife and hold it up, and then put it back and back into the cell.
Oh.
There was nothing in there but just a little while ago. Well, you deal with that. The other three, the elevator door beckons, the arrow pointing up.
Well,
Two
I'm
guards
definitely
on the
going
ground in front of you, 2 rifles, 2 uniforms.
Cool. Let me see. I'm gonna grab one of the rifles
Okay.
and check and see if the uniform is okay to wear.
This is 3400 AD. Not only is it you can shake the blood off like water off of Gore-Tex, they're also quite literally one size fits all because it's all belts and buckles and straps. Even the helmet's got a dial inside and it just makes it bigger.
Cool.
It's 3400. Why not?
So yeah, she'll take the gun
Okay.
and the clothes and
You're taking
definitely
the rifle.
put it on.
Anybody going to argue with that? That's one set of one uniform and one rifle gone. Okay, I can fix that.
I was going to argue anybody else touching the other side.
Yeah, now we're down to one set. Astrid, bam. What should have just happened, I think it will, is now on the Twitch stream. You just changed, and your character is now wearing the guard's armor, which basically looks like World War II U.S. military armor. Because, like I said, this is a theme prison. And you have metal bars and World War II guards. So, you are now dressed in that. There is now one rifle and one set of clothing, guard's clothing, left on the floor. Well, on a guard.
Impulse is just gonna sort of reach over and pick up the rifle and like offer it to Moose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to reach for all the gear and
Yep.
strap it all on first.
Okay. So you're going to take
And-
the other
Yeah.
ensemble.
And then I'll take the
Moose and
rifle,
armor. There we go.
pop the mag, have
Oh.
Look pop back in, charge it like it's
There's
like
also,
an old friend.
There's also another thing I'm going to do. Watch your tokens. Ta-da. Look at you. You're in armor. And...
Impulse is also going to pick the button back up and just hold it.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Remember that you have that button, and just tell me when you want to push it, when you can resist no more. But I've changed the tokens. I use multi-sided tokens in Roll20, so now you can tell the 2 of them that are in the armor. Which, let's face it, color-wise is not a whole lot better than the uniforms you were in before. You've had a chance to think about this now. Finn, what do you do about the U?
I'm gonna go over to the cell and try and hack into the lock.
Okay.
Pull up my. I've got the hacker trait.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So give me 3 dice.
All right.
It does not work.
Oof.
On the other side of the door, it should be impossible. There's no way. Nobody would be mad enough to put a control panel inside a jail cell. But you hear the beep boop boop beep boop 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 of somebody messing with the buttons. And the door goes. The big heavy fake lock, the big metal lock that looks like it's supposed to have like an old school key in it, and opens up slightly.
Just gonna like crack the door and peek in and see if the thing that's there still looks like me or not.
Give me a test. Double sixes. Okay,
Why
this
couldn't
is
I have
where
been
this is
rolling
where we
that better
also
earlier.
this is no, this is the perfect time for this.
Oh.
You wouldn't believe this is the perfect time for this, but
right.
for many reasons, because it allows me to explain a mechanic of the game and why I homebrewed it and made a change. The way the rules are written, and it's a great rule set, and I love every bit of it, but this one bugs the math nerd in me. A critical role in this game is when all the dice roll 6s. But that means it's harder to roll a critical success when you're rolling with advantage, because you have to roll 3d6 and roll 6s than it is to roll a regular test and only have to roll 2d6s and roll 6s. So I changed it. If any 2 dice rolled are 6s, it's a critical success. The other thing that means mechanically is that you can't roll a critical success if you're rolling at disadvantage because you're only rolling 1 die. Now let's get to the fun part. Finn Taggart. What was a defining moment of your life?
Ooh. I'd say the first time he was directly involved with his parents' shipping ring,
Okay.
i.e. their smuggling ring,
Right.
their interplanetary smuggling ring.
Mm-hmm.
His first off-world adventure, so to speak, was smuggling a bunch of these like tri-barreled plasma pistols.
Yep.
And over the course of that little journey, he stole one. He stole one
Okay.
and learned to kind of perfect his shooting with that.
You have that memory flashback in your head, and when you kind of come back to the room, in front of you on their knees is this version of you. And you see them with the tri-barrel pistol. And they're just kind of waving it around. And you see them sort of without thinking sort of hug it to their chest for a second. Not like they're trying to do anything, just like, this is cool, this is cool. And you see that finger start to tighten on the trigger. By accident. It's clearly not, there's no intent. But they're about to shoot themselves.
Just gonna try and grab it.
Okay. We're going to run this double 6 all the way through. You just reach out and grab the pistol.
Dude, what are you doing? What is going on with this?
Finn Taggart.
I'm confused on so many levels.
Finn Taggart. The young one. The little one. Now from your point of view, this big version of you but missing parts and with pieces hanging off of it, and it's dressed, it's just this crazy figure looming above them, but clearly then just says, "What are you doing?" and is holding onto the pistol. What do you do?
What? I'm just gonna completely pull it out of his hands.
Okay, no, you do that, absolutely. The adult Finn, the child Finn.
Oh, okay.
What do you do when you pull this pistol out of your hands? You're just flipping back and forth between these minds in this moment.
Oh. The slightly smaller arms are going to try and like flail for it and grab at it and slightly lose balance and fall forward.
And your finger touches the trigger and all 3 barrels go off and blow a huge hole in the wall. And through it you see a face stand up, a family member that you almost shot. Do you continue on with the company shipping business, or does that change the way you grow up?
He went on with it for a while, and once the authorities kind of started getting a bit more wise, he kind of went quiet for a bit, and when they eventually found him, he ended up here.
Right.
So he's got some mixed feelings about that whole operation.
Well, you pop back to adult Finn, and you see this gel in front of you lose its shape. And it hits the floor in a puddle, and in it you can see 1,000 reflections, 100,000 reflections, every one of them a possible you. Every one of them a different outcome of that scene that you just saw. Some of them stop and leave immediately and go on to become all kinds of things. There's a couple of them are even cops. Other worlds, it meant much worse. And a fair percentage of them, you didn't get there in time. You didn't save yourself, and you don't exist. With that, you kind of shake your head and look, and the puddle oozes into the floor. You look down.
I was gonna ask if I could, if I could try and like pick up a little bit of it, but I realize I don't have a jar or anything to put it in.
As you reach for it, your hand beats against something, What's your weapon of choice? The weapon you're best with?
The mastery
Yeah,
mastered weapon is that burst pistol.
perfect. You're looking down and there's one in your hand. You step back outside. The elevator awaits. I think everybody is now armed, yes, except for yeah. And I don't feel like Impulse needs a weapon to be armed. With that, the elevator awaits the next floor, the floor you're from. You know that normally there's no guards on this floor. What do you do?
Lord.
In the elevator, up the stairs, the door opens. I just looked at the clock. You basically just bolt down the hallway. It's the same distance the other direction. It's 60 feet. You run past all these people that you kind of know. They're reaching out and trying to grab you too, but there's only one in each cell, so it's not difficult to avoid them. There are no guards. You get to the other end. You hit the button. The elevator doors open. You pile into that one. They close. You go up yet another floor. You don't know what to expect in here. You get there, and this time there's 2 buttons inside. One of them doesn't appear until you arrive at that floor, and it says there's the up button that you press to get here, and then there's a closed door button, the one that you can allow to keep the doors closed.
Did we come in through this level that we just got to?
Well, you were brought here unconscious, so this is the level that you just left is the only one that you knew. From here down, you knew. From here up is completely new to you. Excellent question. But what were you going to do with that? Tell me that. We'll see if we can figure out another way you'd have the information.
I was going to see if I could make an eidetic memory check to remember the way out.
Okay. Eidetic memory, do you normally have to roll for that?
I think so. Let's see. Yeah, when testing to recall information you've seen or heard previously, even in passing, you succeed on a roll of 4, 5, or 6.
Oh,
I also
love it.
have
In passing and a 4, 5, or 6. Give me advantage, please. Yes, go. Keep going. Make this even
I
better.
was just gonna say I also have perceptive, which works
Yes.
when I'm asleep. So
Yeah. Oh,
there's that.
perfect. Then we don't even have to break any rules. This works for itself. Exactly.
Yeah.
You close your eyes and sort of think back. It's weird because you're remembering stuff that you weren't awake for, which I guess is pretty standard for you. But give us a roll. Those double 6s have been in there taunting me for long enough.
I got 2 6s.
You also got 2 6s. Excellent. I am being taunted in the real world as well. I love it.
2 6s and a 1, if that
And
matters.
no, the 1 doesn't matter in that case. 2 6s. Wow. You So what exactly were you hoping to achieve here?
To sort of you said that we're usually like zigzags.
Yep.
On the levels. So
Yep.
I'm just trying to remember
yes.
the quickest way to the next elevator.
You remember being carried through unconscious. They even had a band over your eyes, but that doesn't stop you. You can feel it, the way you moved. It's almost like a map, like a 3D memory, like a gyroscope, remembering where you went. And you do remember. Outside of this elevator, there are 2 labs, one, then another. Beyond that is the airlock.
What kind of labs?
They have names. They are called Clotho and Lachesis. Clotho, the one furthest from you, the one closest to the exit, is where the poison is manufactured. Lachesis lab, the one that's closest to you, just through this door, does delivery systems, ways to get it where it needs to be. If you can get through these 2 labs, there's spaceships galore. You could steal any of them. Be free in no time.
Is anyone pushing like any elevator buttons or anything before I?
I'm assuming
Not me.
somebody's got their thumb on the whole door, the door close button until we have this conversation. So that's why I put it there. Any questions, anybody else?
Okay,
Well,
I have a
Ed,
plan. Oh,
are you going to relay this information to the rest of the team, though?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so Impulse is like, kind of stands there and like, is like, hang on. Okay. So we can get out this way. There's labs there, and well, all of us were poisoned, so I wonder if the
Antidote?
yeah, I can remember the lab, but I'm blanking on the name, and it's like I just found it out. But
Lachesis. Yeah, Lachesis is
the
the one closest to
manufacturer
you.
one.
Yes. Oh, the manufacturer one is Clotho.
Okay, so one of the labs, they manufacture the poison. Maybe they manufacture an antidote in there as well. So if we don't go straight out, I mean, we could. There's like lots of spaceships. There's like so many more buttons than this. But we're all poisoned, and we could maybe get unpoisoned.
Yeah,
Moose,
I'm
yeah.
gonna say I'm not the one that was holding the button.
No,
But I'm gonna just like pull whoever's hand off the button and go.
Moose
So
don't
we're just
talk.
deciding on this, I guess.
Yeah, no point in escaping if we die from this shit, and pull their hand
And you
off
start to
the-
move. It doesn't happen immediately, but that's where you're reaching to do that. Your intentions are clear. Finn, you haven't had a say yet.
I mean, like what he said, what's the point in getting out if we're all gonna die? Let's see if we can find the thing that'll get rid of this poison.
Find the antidote. I saw
Yes,
nodding
indeed.
heads. You take your thumb off the button, whoever it was. Maybe it was me. Maybe I'm in that elevator. Maybe I'm the one that had my thumb on that button. I take it off the button.
It was the ooze.
The door opens. And in front of you, a lab. Imagine like every science fiction lab you've ever seen. Beakers and pipettes and boilers and Bunsen burners and all that stuff, because science hasn't changed in 2,500 years. Labs look like labs, especially in space operas. Stuff's bubbling different colors all over the place. And in it, you can see 4 scientists just at their stations working away. And one of them looks over at you and goes, "Oh, shit!"
I just point at the one closest and say, "Sit."
I'm just going to move you guys all back to far here. So you try and intimidate them? Give me,
Oh, yeah.
with advantage, give me an intimidation roll.
Can I help?
Yep. So you intimidate one of them with that. And
That's
yes,
all I
go
need.
ahead. Go ahead, Impulse. And this I want to hear. I mean, I didn't have to ask how Moose intimidates people. He just told us. But how does like 1 meter of sticky-fingered terror inspire fears?
She's gonna yell at him and be like, Can you please stop tearing off heads? Please? Don't tear off their heads. They're gonna sit. It's fine.
I love it. Just
Big old
absolutely flat out
toothy
lie to
grin
them.
as
Yep.
a response.
2 no, that's too good. 3 dice. 3 dice, and you've got to reroll if it doesn't work. I love this.
I got a 5, a 2, and a 3.
That's a success. That is,
Yay.
yeah. So the second one, just like ripping the heads up. No, we can't fix that, right? And the guy goes, "No, we can't fix that." He's like, "Okay." Finn, what do you do in this? There's only 2 of them left to deal with.
I'm looking for the one at the. Is there a computer in here?
Oh yes, yes.
Whichever one is at the closest computer, I'm pointing the pistol right at his head and I'm saying, "Pull up a map. I want my shit back." And I'm going to tell him to pull up a map for whatever room they would have put like seized.
Okay, you are
Items
also
in.
intimidating. I'll give you advantage because his 2 buddies are already intimidated. Peer pressure works in negative ways too. So yeah, give me an advantage. Yep, absolutely. There's the
All
third
right.
one down.
Nice.
He just like, Yeah, for sure. And he goes, oh, and here. And he very, very carefully, he's reaching for his pocket and he realizes that might look aggressive. So he slows way down and pulls out the equivalent of keys. It's the
Nice.
it's the Mercedes, and he just kind of flicks them at you. You catch them.
Snatch him out of the air.
There's only
stuff
one.
him in one of the ugly pockets of this jumpsuit.
Yeah, you open it up and it's like there's ammo and grenades, and you guys are just armed to the teeth. Just nobody's opened these pockets yet and asked. You suddenly realize you're just like, oh damn, you could do a lot of damage.
Nice.
Three
Nice.
of them are now completely intimidated before they've gotten to do anything. Which brings us to Astrid.
You said there was 4?
Yep, there's only one left. 2 of them are just cowering against the wall. The other one is just being as helpful as his fast little fingers can go. He's bringing up passwords and everything else.
She's gonna point at the last one.
Yep.
And tell the last one to help the one that's getting all the information. 2 heads are better than 1 and faster than 1.
Okay, give me a roll. 3 dice. Yep, absolutely. They're absolutely, yeah, positively, yeah, for sure. And they spin away like on their chair, their rotating chair. They hover. It's the only difference between an office chair now and an office chair then is they hover. They don't have the legs. They spin around and leap out of the chair, and the chair scoots out behind them because they don't have locking hover feet. And it bangs against the desk. They turn around and as they're backing up, oh my goodness, oh shit, and they back into something. Oh my god, I swore, and they back into something else, and they tumble into the first person, just crashing all of them to the ground. Beakers start falling, colored liquids start to mix and making weird smokes and other sounds and smells. It's very not good in here. In fact, you can hear them almost in unison, all 4 of them going, not good, not good, not good. What do you do? Let's start with Moose. It's been a while.
Antidote now.
Next room. Hey, not us. And he high-fives
What's
the
it
guy next to
called?
him.
What's it called?
The antidote. It's in the big box marked antidote. It would be in a lab. In a lab where they're building the stuff. If there was an accidental explosion, it would be in a big box on the wall marked antidote. This is
I'm
not,
just
it's not hidden
I'm
away. Right?
past them.
So you just blow past them. And
Straight for it.
they're like high-fiving each other. It's like, yeah, live through another invasion. Realizing there's still 3 of you in the room, they stop talking. Let's go the other way around this time. Let's start with Astrid. What do you do? Moose is gone. Heading for the door.
Once she hears about the antidote,
Yeah.
and seeing as how they really don't feel like doing their job anymore, she's gonna run to one of the computers.
Okay.
Realize one of her hands ain't quite working right.
Yep. And the room's filling up with toxic smoke.
So she's gonna ask where there's spare parts.
Ah. Okay. The 2 of them that are there, I'm not going to make you roll because there was already 2 very, very helpful scientists there. And as much as they'd like to leave, they'd also like to live. So they just like, what do you want? Oh, spares. Yeah, okay. It's actually, and they hit a button and it flashes on the map. It's right by the, it's right by the airlock. Which makes sense. It's where you put it, right? That's where you bring stuff in and just store it by the airlock. So it's right on your way.
I'm sorry?
So it's right on your way. Don't kill me.
Okay, so now that she knows that, she's gonna head right for
You
that.
trudge that way, and the other guy looks at the other guy and says, that's 3 invasions. And they keep moving. Next, Finn.
Was I able to grab the location of that?
Yes,
room?
it's actually the same answer that you got before. It's they're in storage. They never expected you to get up out of the jail, so it's not in any particularly locked away place.
Cool.
The only thing is, I will mention there's the lab, and then your stuff, and then the airlock.
Okay.
So you've got your weapon of choice, but the rest of your gear is beyond this next lab.
Okay. Well, I'll head through the lab and grab myself a dose of the antidote.
Yep. Impulse. Well, you guys are not quite to that room yet, but because we got one more person still in this room. Impulse. What are you doing?
Also heading for the antidote.
Okay. As you jog across the room, you can feel
Before
something.
before I leave that room,
Yeah.
there's got to be a big red button right by the door, right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Hitting the big red button because that's usually like the "oh fuck we spilled shit" button.
Yep. Fair enough. Yep. Absolutely.
Slap
Yep.
that on the way through.
It's a big green button in this case. It's like a big toxically green mushroom button because they want it to be really obvious.
Yeah,
So you
cool.
just, bang, and the alarm starts to go. And it's it's a verbal alarm. It's a pre-recorded voice, but years of study have shown that a little profanity goes a long way. So this repeated voice starts going, "Get the fuck out, get the fuck out, get the fuck out, get the fuck out."
Oh my god.
Incredible.
And at the same time, the stick with the red button on it on the top. The red button is not the green button. That means this red button does something else. Just mentioning as you run towards the door. You're almost out of here anyway.
Oh, I know.
I'll leave you with that. You crash into the next door. The door slams open. Moose, you're first through into another lab. This is Clotho. This is where they're making it. This one is just one hallway with like glove tunnel windows. You know, the ones where you shove your gloves in and do stuff inside.
Yeah.
There is...
Serious business.
Yeah, there's two scientists at this end, one in each glove tunnel. I don't know why I crossed I don't know. They're in each side, working quite near to you. They don't even look up because if this door opens up, it's just one of the scientists from the other room, right? They're not expecting a jailbreak. You guys never set off an alarm, other than the beep 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 alarm. They're not responding to it in this room because they're wearing full hazmat suits, even though they're using the glovey finger things. They're that afraid of what's behind this glass.
Safety first, man.
Yeah. So they're not responding to the thing, but they also don't look up because they assume that that's just the guys in the other one have hopped in their hazmat suits and they're coming out. So you come in with complete surprise. But speaking of complete surprise, at the far end of the hallway, and not surprised at all, is what looks for all the world like 10 feet, 3 meters of Tyrannosaurus Rex, but with long human arms. And they're flexing their big hooked claws. And you hear, "No one escapes from my prison. I take it as a personal offense."
Offense this.
And they start thundering down the hall. So Moose, I know, yeah, Moose, this is the freeze frame moment, right? This is where the camera breaks through the wall and takes on the position of the audience in a live theater show, as Moose freezes in time, almost the Naruto lines coming off of them as they run down the hall, heading against this tyrannid, headlong Tyrannosaurus Flex. Thank you. That's beautiful. The other three, what do you do? In no particular order. I'm just going to do this.
Are we
You're going
close?
headlong. Okay.
Are we close to the antidote?
Oh, yes, on the wall is the antidote box. Great big box that you can see. Technically, you still have like 3 hours and 40 minutes, but...
Astrid's gonna run over there, grab 4 vials, and then hand one to everybody but Moose, because Moose is like on the other side of the planet at the moment. So she's gonna put it in one of those military pockets.
Yep.
that
So you
she's
just
got.
grab a handful.
Give
and
it to Matt. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, put extras away, and then just thought this one might have come in handy. It's not.
What is it you're trying to use?
Does
Let's
she-
figure out a way to use it.
Outlaw. You gain advantage on tests to avoid detection or capture by the law.
Ah. What I'm going to give you for that, you look over at Impulse and you recognize the button. You know what that is. That's a release all button. In an emergency situation, you hit that button and every jail cell door on the 2 floors below you open up. 5 minutes later, the doors to this floor open up. If you hit that button, you will release everything and everyone that is below you. And 5 minutes later, that mayhem will be released into these two labs. 5 minutes in which you could be long freaking gone.
So
Do you
Astrid,
share, as you said earlier, that information?
I share the information, but I tell Astrid to hand me the button.
You're Astrid. You're talking to yourself now.
Impulse.
It's been a
I'm
stressful
sorry.
evening. Yeah.
So
No, I asked Impulse for the button.
You don't tell them what it is, you just ask them for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Impulse?
you wanna borrow my button?
Yeah.
Can I push it first? I've been waiting so long to push this button, like 10 minutes at least.
Okay. All right. Tell you what. Give me about another half minute. So in other words, just give it another round. You can push the button in when I tell you.
Okay. All right, deal. I want to push it real bad.
The
We just
thumb, I
gotta
could just
get a
like, there's a
little-
bit of give. Like, it's like a ballpoint pen, right? There's a bit of give in this
Like-
button. So you're just like taking up the slack. Yeah. Okay.
You'll be able to push it in about 2 minutes. Just give it a moment or two, and we'll get it. I'll tell you when.
Okay. Okay.
All
right,
On,
all right,
on that, and speaking of impulse and impulse control, I'm going to go around the room here and ask what the other three are doing, and I want you to interrupt me at any moment with anything that you'd like to do. So, let's start again with Astrid. You asked for time. What are you doing with it? You asked for 2 minutes.
Okay. She's gonna run forward to. Let me see here. Ah, yeah. That light range.
Okay, so you got to get light range, so you can fire that from anywhere. You don't have to be close at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's gonna go right there,
You move there and then shoot.
and she's gonna shoot at the dude.
Okay.
What type of gun is this? Is it a?
This is a rifle that fires projectiles because they dug into the floor downstairs. So
A regular rifle. Okay.
yeah, apparently this one goes bang and everything. It doesn't even go pew pew. We broke our own cannon here.
That's disappointing. No pew pew.
Well, Scum and Villainy, it's canon in the game that all weapons go pew pew. We decided that the big weapons go pew pew. But yeah. So
Nice.
sorry. Back to
Oh my!
you said you're having a swing at this one. What are you doing? You shooting him?
We're gonna shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him, but I don't think I'll have. Well, I should. I'll probably get advantage because of the light range, right?
Well, technically, a rifle is a heavy range, but as we have determined in this game, anything you can do one-handed you call as light range. So, spectacularly, you'll be more accurate firing this rifle one-handed than you will firing it two-handed. But I see no reason why, given all the physics that we break in this game, that shouldn't work. You just Rambo this thing. Just hold the rifle out at full range and just sight down the barrel and pull the trigger. Give us a shot. You guys got a dinosaur to kill. I can give you some. Yep, there's a hit. Yeah, just blam! And the shot that just rings down the hall. I imagine your ear impulse probably is just like, I was just getting better. Oh. And there's another big blast, but you do hit. A big chunk comes off of it. And it looks down at you, Astrid, and says, excellent. You I kill first. And it tries to push past Moose. Moose! Yeah. Oh, no, wait a minute. I got to do it. Sorry, I missed one. Finn, what are you doing?
Considering we're in jail, would they have had anything that would disable any kind of additional mechanical movement things? Because with his robot feet,
Yeah.
he's got these neat little micro thrusters in the bottoms of his feet.
Okay.
And what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to see if I can't boost over this guy that's blocking the way to storage and grab my stuff before I try to take him on.
Okay. Yeah, what we'll do is you'll take both of your actions and you'll just up and over and down on the other side. You slam down to the door and just, I mean, the door's not locked. Again, this is not the prison part, right? You guys are out of that. You just spin the handle and pull it open, and you open it up, and there's just rows. It looks like a cloakroom at an elementary school. You know, it's just like rows of people's stuff hanging on pegs. There's your stuff and other people's stuff and stuff that you don't even know what it is, other than it's really obviously weapons because it's all pointy and sharp, and it's got images of like eagles and stuff on it, so it must be a weapon. But it's just this whole room full of gear.
Oh, there's probably some cool stuff hidden in here.
I can just see the eyes.
He sees the loot, but
Yep.
he's going for his stuff before everything
Toss my
else.
pen on the floor. So you grab your stuff, but then you remember you were told 2 minutes. Astrid said 2 minutes before they pushed the button. In a room full of weapons.
Ooh.
Okay, would he yell at him? The pistol harness with the 2 chromed energy pistols.
He's yelling for his stuff.
I'll grab that harness and try to just huck it as far as I can.
You
in
look
Moose's
around,
general
and
direction.
you're thinking like the what and the what, and then you see this harness with 2 pistols on it and a little moose logo burned into the leather. It's like, yeah, that's got to be his. Fling it out the door.
Nice.
So that's you. You're just like weapons everywhere. Perfect. Impulse. Everybody's doing stuff. They asked for
He's
like
looking real hard at
2
his
whole
button.
minutes. Moose, what are you doing?
So Buddy's trying to muscle past me.
Yep. You got 2 actions.
First thing I'm going to do is chuck this rifle at his face.
Okay. Using 2
And-
hands, one presumes, and making it a
Oh, yeah.
heavy ranged weapon. Yep. Okay. I'm good with that. Roll 3 dice. Because you're specializing in 2 things. That's a hit. Absolutely. So the rifle just off of his big bony forehead and snaps off one of those horns. They got like the double row of horns. The big one at the front snaps off. You've just like delivered what would be a fatal injury or a fatal insult to a tiefling, but wrong game. But yes, you do a point of damage.
Second action, I am going low and swinging for the soft parts.
Oh, right to the cloaca. Have a go.
Regular advantage.
know it's my
what am I
words.
getting on that one?
Advantage on this too, because you got two weapons you have advantage with, right? Pointy sticks and shooty stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You missed, but you have a reroll,
Oh,
and this is clearly the
Yeah,
final
I'm
battle.
using it.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Jeez, the same numbers.
You just... So you hit him with the
Mulligan.
rifle, and then you step in to throw the punch, and you just as you're about to throw the punch, you hear the guy that taught you, "Get your damn elbow up!" And so you get your elbow up. It's like, yeah, I got it now, and you throw the punch and frickin' miss anyway. Just blang into the bulkhead right behind him. And he tries to bite your arm. Make a save to get your arm out of the way. I don't actually roll to attack in this game. I sometimes get carried away and do, but I'm not supposed to.
Save.
So just
I'm going to
2
say.
dice.
Yeah, that's test.
You got a brawl. This is brawler though. Give me 3 dice.
2d6 to evade. It says it's
Oh,
only
2d6 to
1d6.
evade. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wow.
Ah.
Yeah.
Whoa!
And the teeth come together, bang, and you gotta know that hurt. Like, oh, like slam on your teeth. But you're,
Opportunist.
with like 2,000 points of damage. Oh, and you got opportunist too. Yeah, go ahead.
Disadvantage attack back.
So 1 point back. You miss again. You punch the same spot in the bulkhead. Just bang, right in your own knuckle marks. That took us around the table. Let's just go around again. Forget initiative. Astrid, what are you doing? This thing's about halfway to being beat up.
I'm hoping that, excuse me, I'm hoping that Finn
Yep.
was able to find at least my pistol.
Gears just flying out the door. Just yeah.
So yeah, of all
And
the
this is a
guys
space
flying
opera,
out,
so it slides right to your feet.
Yep.
Dunk.
she'll find her laser pistol and
Yep.
her laser sword.
Yeah, you pull those 2 up. Free actions both, because it's getting to that part of
So,
the
yeah.
movie. What do you do?
She's gonna holster the pistol and lightsaber her way up to the front and try and hit him.
Okay. If you make the lightsaber noise, I will give you advantage.
Ooh.
Give me a roll with advantage.
Yeah. They're both weapon proficiencies also.
Well, proficiency would have given you a regular, but never mind. You're an expert. So yes, the first one, blam, slams into them, doing 1 point of damage. You get 2 attacks. Right? Yeah. So go again. Because I see it was a free attack picking up your weapon. So the second one, I'll do the sound effects. We'll see who's better. Let's see what you roll. Oh, you're better. You rolled
That
2
one.
successes. I only rolled 1. But again, you look up. You've cut both of his arms off really, really short. Tiny little fingers grow out of the end. You
What a
bastard!
flesh wound.
Yeah, you complete
Back to
another
regular
bastard.
T-Rex arms.
You heard him so much. Exactly. You heard him so much his accent changed. I'll kill you. That's it. I've had enough. And it doesn't even get to his chin. Behind that, I've been waiting for this one for a couple seconds here because Finn, big fight, dinosaur ass, dinosaur tail, fight. All your gear's on you. Right behind you is the airlock door. Who has the keys to the Mercedes?
Me?
I think you do. That's what I thought. That's why
I do think I've got those keys.
Finn,
If not, now you do.
you met these people 14 minutes ago. You don't have the vaccine yet.
Oh.
No, I gave Finn the vaccine.
Oh, you give it to everybody? Okay.
Yeah, the only
In
one I
that
haven't
case-
given it to is Moose because I wasn't close
Because
enough.
you weren't close enough. So I'm going to give you that you gave it to him on the way past. So Finn, you get it thrown to you over the top because that's the only way this gets you. I like this decision better. So now you've got the antidote to
All
the
right.
antidote, the keys, all your gear, the airlock door. What do you do?
There's got to have been just a bag that I had thrown back and all
Yep.
the stuff. So I'm shouting back. I'm shouting back to whoever's nearest to a bag. Hey, grab as much of that antidote as you can. That stuff's gonna be very valuable, I bet.
Yep.
Also, good luck. I'm taking one final shot at the T-Rex.
Yep. From behind.
And
So give me an
I'm opening the
advantage.
door.
Yeah. Not completely.
Okay, door's
advantage.
open. I'm gonna push the button.
Okay. Bam.
Yeah,
You
because I was
shoot
about
the
to say.
You shoot the
I was
T-Rex
about
in
to
the
say.
back, and it blows off a bunch of the scales at the base of the neck, so much so that you can see the spine and the ridging on the back of the skull where the big muscles of the jaw mount. This thing is starting to wobble bad. Somebody
Yeah,
said something. What are you doing?
It would be at this point that
Yep.
Astrid says, "Button time, my friend."
Right, and click. Impulse, you press the
As-
button. Yeah.
Yes, and as Impulse presses the button, she gets this like look on her face. She just had an amazing roll in the hay or the most delicious cheesecake ever. Like
Yeah.
that look on her
Oh yeah,
face.
that button.
She's been waiting forever to push this button and she just got to push it. And
Wow.
she's just like,
Bonus for Impulse. You push the button, you can feel it through the floor. Chunk, chunk. The entire jail unlocks. You feel a click in your hand and you look down. The button you pushed is up here. At the bottom, this little door sort of opened up and there's another button. This one is flashing in red.
oh, I'm so pushing that button.
You push
yeah.
that button and all the doors on this floor open up. You can hear in the lab behind you the sound of criminals piling out of the elevator into Lotharis behind you, and 4 guards or 4 scientists you hear, "Oh shit, we're not going to live through this," as you turn and bolt. The T-Rex falls to the floor, breathing their last. "I guess if I'm dead, it doesn't matter. But before you go," with little tiny arms, giving you the V for victory that's not really V for victory. And they expire on the floor in front of you. You leap through the airlock. First through the door, Finn. You look around and you got like the keys. There's only one Mercedes here. It's black, of course. It's the CLK, of course. It's the year 3371 version of the midlife crisis Mercedes-Benz. It is technically a 2+2. In other words, it's got 2 big comfy seats in the front and one of them little tiny benches in the back. So the only remaining question before the closing sequence: who is riding shotgun?
Oh, you better not fight me on this one.
I was about to say me, but if you want it, Moose, then by all means. Put the
Impulse?
You're
little
right
one in
now.
the seat, and there we go.
Impulse? You willing to ride in the back?
Sure.
Okay.
She hops up on the car and is just like super excited and actually like is on the back of it, like, and curls her little feet fingers
And the gentle feet.
under the edges.
Yeah.
And is just like stuck to the back.
Perfect.
There's another car beside it.
Moose bails in. There is another car beside it. There's any number of cars. They're just not Mercedes.
Yeah, as long as it's a nice model, maybe a good Tesla.
A Tesla. Okay. Yeah. Way down at
So
the
she's-
end. Way down at the end, plugged into the nuclear power plant. There's a new car. It's called a Mustang. But it kind of looks like an SUV, but it's electric. It's weird. It doesn't look anything like the Mustangs that came before, but never mind. That's my personal beef. There is an electric Tesla sort of powered spaceship down at the end that you could take if you wish.
She's gonna run down there because she's like, I can hack into anything.
You hack into you're in, because it was built on planet America, so the security is terrible compared to the ones that were built in planet Europe. You break in a heartbeat, you unplug it.
And then I whistle. If you guys want to follow, you can. But Ben, you can have the Mercedes.
The doors open to space. First, the white Mustang, because they're all white, silently, with no exhaust, goes out into space, completely undramatically, just sort of, whoosh, and accelerates away. Behind it, the Mercedes making a huge amount of noise as it comes out of the gates, with Moose in the passenger seat, being driven by Finn, and on the back, blowing in the wind, Impulse.
I turn on the heated seat.
And you open the window so the warm air is now blowing on Impulse, inflating them much like a sugar glider. And the camera pans to one side, and we see the disk of a sun, and silhouetted against it, the Mustang and the Mercedes, with its very own living flag flapping in the wind. The camera pans back, and mayhem is visible through every window and port. Monsters, creatures, violent criminals, all released onto that little moonlet that you just escaped from. But you did escape. Kind of. The two vehicles fly for a short while, and then the world around you appears to change. This visage of endless stars just disappears. And you find yourselves inside a huge cigar-shaped tube. A space station. A battered space station. Vermin, sentient and otherwise, roaming the streets of this shattered world. The light source that used to run along the center of this cigar that lit everything, long gone, burnt out. So the only light sources are provided by the fires, which you can see. And because you're in a rotating cigar-shaped thing, they rise above you on both sides all the way around. When you look up, you see the same street you're standing on that goes all the way, or that you're flying down, goes all the way around. You hear automatic railgun fire in the distance. Dum, 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 dum. And you realize you're a hell of a long ways from escaped yet. But that, for this evening, is where we are about to drop the curtain, right after I give each of you a chance to do one more thing. What do we do?
I'm cranking up the radio and just flooring it. I
I
am
love it.
like right past the Mustang,
Yep.
and then like
Yep.
the aggressive Mercedes driver
Oh,
shift
yeah.
back into the other lane. And
Yep, you don't
it's just
signal, and
gone.
yeah, the whole
I-
thing just
No signals,
down
no
the river,
nothing.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we've all taken the antidote.
I hit Finn like in the shoulder with my forearm and go,
Yeah.
fun's just getting started.
Start rolling
yeah,
down the
man.
windows and loading ammo. I got this, but yeah.
You're
In
like
the other vehicle,
one hand on the steering wheel, other hand reloading
And
the
fitting my
pistol.
harness back on so my pistols are where they're supposed to be.
I'm coming back to that car, but first I want to know how the Mustang responds to that. Just the Mercedes blows past you, music blaring. Of course it has that horn. Of course. And suddenly, as you
So basically, as they're passing,
Yeah.
she expertly throws Moose his antidote.
yep,
So now everybody's been able to take the antidote. Yay.
yes, and you follow. Yeah. Yeah.
After that, she's just gonna match pace behind the
She just
Mercedes.
pulled in behind. So you're kind of, this is perfect timing. You're kind of looking at the back of a Mercedes and the back side of an Impulse. Impulse, we're going to close on this. You are now screaming at high speed on this high performance hover car, blasting through this wasted city. What do you do?
Impulse grips harder and it's just like looking around, eyes super wide, all three eyes just like glinting in the firelight. And she's like, oh, and like on the F sound,
The curtain
you
drops.
can have the credits.
Yes. Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Incredible.
That's where we drop
Wow.
the scene 2 night.
Awesome.
I had to have that last bit because that was so much fun. I can't only do it once. So I would like to hereby invite you back. I don't know when. It'll be a couple months at least before we've got an open Friday. But I would love to invite the 4 of you back when we can find a time that all 4 of you can get together at the same time and do the rest of Escape from Tiny York. Because this was originally going to be a 2-shot. We squeezed it into 1, but no. These characters are too much fun. This is too much fun. We can't stop. So I will get a hold of you guys. I'll PM you all, but this isn't over. But it's over for tonight.
Awesome.
Wow. What a night. What a show.
Not over, Story Keeper.
Yeah. I'm all mean and nasty, and I don't think anybody... Oh, there was 1 or 2 rolls at disadvantage, but not very bloody many. Anyway, I want to do my thank yous now because I do these all the time because I think they're important. I want to thank my players, first of all. Roospar, oh, Moose, he's a moose, man. Head down, knock it over. Let's go, right? Simple. This is an easy character. There is nothing wrong. People say, I don't want to play fighters because they're boring. The only way a fighter is boring is if you lack creativity, because you did stuff tonight. Like, it's not just run up and punch him in the face. You are strong. You are trained. Anything you can think of to do is a combat ability, so you should be good at all of it. So thank you for bringing that character and making it real and showing everybody that it is a playable class. Straight punch face works because it's never just straight punch face. There's always a thought or two behind it. But same with barbarians. Absolutely. People, rangers, all those classes that people go are boring. It's like, no, take another look. I'm not going to say anything bad about it, but take another look with really creative eyes and see what you could do. I'll bet you can come up with something. But next, thank you. Oh, I'm going to do the regulars first again. Thank you so much, Solar. I appreciate it. Every time you bring a character, they're different. I love them. This one is just, it's, again, nice and straightforward. Let's get the hell out of here. This is, this isn't complicated. Let's go. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much for bringing that character. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Definitely.
Rory, I love watching new players in our games because they get the collection of faces is absolutely priceless. I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you said yes. All of it that goes along with it. I love it so much. Welcome to Dirty 20 Gaming. This is how we roll. Thank you for joining us once again, and I appreciate your character as well. This sort of get stuff done. And I damn well threw you under the bus tonight with that backstory stuff. I absolutely did it. I do it on a regular basis, and you came out from under that bus smelling like roses. If I can mix some metaphors, you did an amazing job. Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This was awesome. I had a great time with this character.
Looking forward to having you back. You can't play this character for only 2 hours. There's got to be more.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of characters, I want to see again. Oh, Impulse. Okay, everybody in chat. Who else spent the whole night with the thought Idicus needs to meet Impulse in their head? For those that
I
don't
was
know,
thinking
that's
that.
a character from our
Just
Sunday
came
night
into
games.
that
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
What?
We have a character.
Impulse needs to meet Idicus.
Yeah, we have a character in our Sunday night game that is a Warforged goblin. They're a goblin
Sounds
mind
amazing.
trapped in an Warforged. And yeah, they have the same sort of chaos in a tiny bundle energy that you brought tonight. I love it. Your timing on the button pushes was absolutely perfect. Your comedy timing is exceptional. Yes, Impulse is adorable. Though? No. I won't accept the though, because Idicus is unbelievably adorable. They're just unbelievably deadly at the same time. But thank you so much for Impulse. I love these characters that don't do things by the rules. Thank you so much for saying yes to Twitter, and thank you for joining us. I appreciate it very much. And that...
maybe as a guest one of these days.
Oh,
There's
everybody.
a sugar glider of some sort that apparently needs to be involved.
Oh, Lala. Yeah, that's another pile of mayhem all in one row. Yeah, a sugar glider that's reacts poorly to sugar and gets really angry. It's a rage mechanic that we built around sugar. So yeah, there's welcome to Dirty 20 Gaming. What can I say? Speaking of Dirty 20, the chat. Man, the Twitch chat tonight was awesome. I saw some new faces over there. I appreciate it all. If this looked like fun, it was. And if you want to be in it, you can. Just go to the Discord and sign up. We are booked for like freaking months, and I just added another show just right now, so I don't know. But we'll get to you. We really will. We'll get you in as a guest in the game, or we'll get you into one of these 1 or 2 shots. We'll figure it out. But just join the Discord, and I'll say it. It's one of the most supportive places you're going to find on the internet. It is an amazing group of people, and I can't say enough good things about them.
That's an interesting one there. Oh, yay, Respawn.
Oh, thank you. And that leaves one more thank you, which is the weird one. It's the future people, the YouTube people, the people that don't exist watching this yet. They'll do it later when I remember to put it up on YouTube. Thank you to all of you, and if you watched all the way to here, that's 2 hours, man. Give that like button a poke. I'm going to assume you liked it. And please hit that notification bell as well, because I am notorious for being really bad at putting stuff up on YouTube. And I put like 4 up in one day and then nothing for a week. So if you want to know when I put stuff up, hit the button. Other than that, wow. That was a blast.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you too for coming up with the one shot and running it.
Oh, you're very welcome. I love this.
Thank you.
It's so much fun. For those of you that are new, about 75% of that was completely off the cuff. That's where the fun happens. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not having fun until I don't know what the next sentence out of my mouth is going to be. It's why I like playing with creative people like you, because you put me in that spot all night long, and I love it. My brain is sweating on the inside. So thank you all for that. And yeah, that was a poorly phrased sentence. So let's do one that I know works, because I use it every week. Until next time, please be nice to each other. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.